everybody, this is Final Film Productions back with another Jurassic Park video. Today it's more in line with Jurassic World, where I talk about a subject that some people will agree with me, a lot of people will disagree with me. I am not a fan of the two Jurassic World movies, big fan of the first three Jurassic Park movies. I just want to give them some of my opinions, but I wanted to get them out there because I think a lot of people tend to be very positive about the first Jurassic World movie, probably less so the second one. Jurassic World was released in 2015, directed by Colin Trevorrow. I believe he's doing the third one as well. I was not a fan of it. I was excited for it because I liked the first trilogy. I was not a fan of this or the sequel. Just there's many reasons for it. I believe that if you start first with the characters, they're very bland characters. Chris Pratt. I guess if you're a fan of Pratt, you probably went along with him. I personally found him a pretty uninteresting lead. I don't find him that funny. I mean, he's a likable enough actor in small parts, but to lead this movie, I thought it was a bad choice. When you compare him to the likes of Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, Laura Dern, those three are not your quintessential hero characters. They're not the quintessential good-looking kind of muscle actors that you would put into a big blockbuster movie. They're just interesting, likable characters. Sam Neill especially I like. And you get none of those interesting characters in this movie. I mean, you have talented actors. I mean, Bryce Dallas Howard is a good actress. But she's left with a pretty dopey role in this movie as the character. She's given literally nothing to do but sort of be dismissive, and until the end of the movie she sort of has a little bit of character development. You have Vincent D'Onofrio, who's a terrific actor. He's so good in mostly everything he does, but again, he's given a nothing role here.
It's hard to say you're the villain in a dinosaur movie because usually the dinosaurs are the villains, you know?
And you know, people can complain about Lost World and Jurassic Park 3, but you had Jeff Goldblum, you had Sam Neill, who always injected an interesting delivery and interesting dialogue into movies, and their performance always elevated much of what could have been a pretty average to poor movie if you didn't have those guys in it. And I think the third Jurassic World movie, adding in the three original actors, Laura Dern, Sam Neill, Jeff Goldblum, hopefully they're given a big role, and I really think that will improve it. Again, all the other things I'm going to list out that I don't like about these movies could still be intact in Jurassic World Dominion. Hopefully not. Again, I just think watching Jurassic World and Jurassic World Lost Kingdom, the magic seems to be lost. A big thing, I think, the magic of the Jurassic Park movies is the score. And people might think that, you know, a score is only a part of the magic of Jurassic Park, but it is a big part of it. If you remove the score of any movie, especially a score that's quite prominent and memorable, it's going to diminish the scenes. It's going to diminish a lot of the enjoyment and a lot of the nostalgia and excitement that you get from those movies. They completely removed the John Williams score, Fallen Kingdom, and in Jurassic World, they used the score terribly. The opening, when the kid arrives in Jurassic World and he's on the roller coaster and he's going through the hotel, that's where the music plays, not when we get to see dinosaurs. If you remember the original movie, the score played when we seen the dinosaurs for the first time. That was a perfect place to use the score, but in Jurassic World, they use it when kids are running through a hotel room. And it just seems like the people making the movie didn't understand what was so important and what made those original movies work so well. It's just a real lack of knowledge of what made the first ones work. What else I don't like? I think the general look of the movies, it feels more like a Jumanji movie, if you know what I mean, compared to Jurassic Park. You know, you got CGI landscapes, backdrops, green screen is overused a lot. There's a lack of animatronics. If you've seen my Jurassic Park 3 review, animatronics are a big part of making Jurassic Park a memorable franchise, because those movies still stand up. I mean, some shots look a little bit goofy, some of the CGI has dated a little bit, but they used a lot of animatronics in the first 3 movies, and they used them very sparingly in the 2 Jurassic World movies, and the CGI is way overloaded in the Jurassic World movies. You know, I talk about Jumanji, the action scenes in Jurassic World are way too over the top and way too kind of Michael Bay even. I'd even go that far, where you've got helicopters, CGI helicopters flying around, and massive explosions, and dinosaurs doing all sorts of outlandish kind of over the top movements. Well, you can't say Jurassic Park was a minimal use of CGI, but they used CGI in a way where they kept everything grounded as much as you can in a dinosaur movie, and you know, you never had too much over the top. You know, King Kong, Peter Jackson's King Kong was a perfect example of what the Jurassic World movies kind of pushed into it. You know, there was never any action scene that was way over the top. Even the T-Rex in San Diego never went way over the top. It had cars crashing, and you had the T-Rex running down streets and roaring, but you always felt that was actually a real San Diego. It was shot on a real location. You never felt that you were looking at just a CGI creation in the entirety of the shot, and that's what a lot of Jurassic World is. I think the idea of Jurassic World, the first one at least, but not the second one. I think the plot of the second movie is just terrible. You know, you go into clones, and you've got chasing volcanoes, action scenes. It's just, the sequel is a terrible movie. I might even make a separate movie on that. But the idea of the first Jurassic World opening the park and having people in it is a good start off point, because they didn't do that in the first 3 movies. But I think they squander it. I just think all the things I listed before just take away from that idea if it ever being executed well. And then a big pet peeve is kind of talking about animatronics and CGI, but I think the T-Rex CGI at the end of the movie, for such a big scene and a scene that they obviously wanted people to enjoy a lot, I just think the CGI is so poorly done. And in comparison to the first movie, even the first movie, the first Jurassic Park movie looks way better in CGI. So I think in general, these are my opinions. They're very personal opinions. They're very, my own taste of what I like. I would like to get people's counter arguments. Do you disagree with me? Do I make good points? Let me know. Thanks for watching the video, and I hope to make some more Jurassic Park and Jurassic World related videos very soon. Thank you.